Hello everyone, happy Monday. Listen, I want to hop on here today to talk about offense and how we can stop being so offended so quickly. So here's where the video is coming. Got a phone call from one of my sons just very recently, and as you know, we're talking, I can tell he's just really digging at me and sort of being rude to me and just being a snot. And I was like, what the heck is going on? Why are you talking to me this way? And realized that he had just gotten a ticket and he was taking his frustrations out on me. So before I could get too offended by that, I really had to understand where he was coming from. It did not excuse his behavior at all, but I understood that even though I was the target of his frustration, it really wasn't anything personal to me. And I got to thinking, how often do we really sort of react in such a negative way about all kinds of things when really we're not we might be the target, but we're really not the reason why somebody is offending us or being rude to us. So here's the deal. And now remember, I'm talking to myself as well, but so often we go through life feeling and thinking that we really are the center of the universe, because from our vantage point inside of our body, we really do think that we are sort of, everything that happens around us is related to us, and it's not at all. When I taught in the classroom and when I homeschooled my kids, I used to get a phone directory out. You don't see them very often anymore, but it was a phone directory, and the one from my area would be really thick. And I would use that as an example to the kids, and I'd say, look how thick this phone directory is. In your world, there are thousands and thousands of people. And these are just the people who have phones. Think of how many more people there are in your world, your surrounding world, and realize that you're not the center of it all. You are just one little piece of the puzzle. So many times when people are just really rude or impatient, or maybe they sent us a curt text, or maybe they didn't show up for an appointment, or maybe they didn't even reply to a phone call or a text, we can take it personally when really it's something that's happened in their world, something in their history. Maybe they got a bad phone call. Maybe they didn't sleep well the night before. Maybe they just got let go from their job. Maybe they had a flat tire. Maybe they got a speeding ticket or a ticket. We don't know. It does not excuse their behavior, but it's not directed to us typically. So we really just need to have this Teflon exterior and realize that it's not a personal attack, even though it might be coming off that way. So as I was getting ready to just sort of thinking about what I wanted to talk about today, is I realized that I talk to a lot of I coach a lot of people on this subject, so why not talk about this, since it had just happened with my son and what he had said over the phone. So I came up with 4 or 5 little points that have helped me. And the first one is that not to lower your standards or to settle when you're picking your friends or who you're hanging out with, because I don't want anybody to pick riffraff. You know, you've got to choose your friends wisely, always be kind to people. But remember that when you are looking at the people that you're relating to, is to watch what kind of expectations you have out of them. Realize that not anyone walking on this earth is perfect, and we're gonna be walking around being imperfect people. So what we say or do, or what we hear said or done to us, is coming from an imperfect person. So really lower your expectations of that person. Again, I'm not telling you to settle or to settle for, mediocrity. Don't settle for riffraff, but lower your expectations so that when they're saying or doing or not saying or not doing something and you're wanting to get offended, lower the expectation and realize that that's an imperfect person as much as you are, right? As much as I am. Number two goes so well with that one. And it's removing this fantasy or this fictional friend that you have in your mind. That person might have reacted to you in a rude way, but that's not really the bad part. The bad part is that you have raised them up to be such a fantasy that it's now onto you. So it goes well to lower your expectation and also remove the fantasy or the fictional status that you've put on many of your friends or coworkers or your spouse, right? So remove those expectations and remove that fantasy label that you've put on them. Number three is really you can't control how much someone likes you or doesn't like you, or what they say to you or what they don't say to you. So just sort of keep on keeping on and just do your thing. Put your head down and realize that's where the Teflon exterior comes in. Realize that you can't control what they say or do. So keep your head down and move on. Sort of makes it easy for you that way, right? You can't control it anyway. The next one, I think it's maybe number 4. Number 4 is really choose where you put your energy. When we extend so much energy in being offended, then we're taking the good energy that we can be putting on other people, our family, our loved ones. We're sucking out the good energy and replacing it with the bad energy. So where your attention goes, your energy flows. So get your energy back and don't give that person or that situation any of your energy. Okay, that's an easy one and it's so doable. And the last one is you're not always going to be a priority to everybody, even your spouse. You're not going to be the priority to them, not always. So the best thing that you can do is to be your own priority. Respect yourself. Know that you're worthy. Love yourself. Choose yourself and choose to give attention to yourself. So I know that sort of touchy-feely, rainbows, butterflies, but it's so important when we are expecting to be a priority of other people around us. We're going to be very highly disappointed. So the best thing that you can do is to elevate yourself, not be cocky or anything like that, but elevate yourself and make yourself a priority. So take care of yourself, love yourself, choose yourself, respect yourself. And you could just go on and on with that list. So to sort of sum it up, before you get offended, remember you are not the center of the universe. You are just a piece of the puzzle in somebody else's universe. So what they've said or done or not said or didn't do to you and you thought they should, it's not you. It's usually something that has happened in their world that's distracting them. So what can you do about that? You can have a Teflon exterior and keep on keeping on. You can remove the expectations and the fantasies that you've had about that person and the way they should respond, because no one is perfect. You can make sure your energy is going where it should be going and not to something that is dead, and you can prioritize yourself. That's it. Those are just the few things that I've come up with. If you've got some, I'd love to hear about them. I'm a sponge for learning. If you got some value out of this, share it to another person. What we don't need is a ton of offended people walking around on this earth. That was the topic of the sermon at the church that I went to yesterday, is offense and holding on to grudges. What we don't need is people walking around and holding on to offense and grudges, because that makes for really just an awful world to live in. So anyway, guys, have a great afternoon, and thank you so much for watching.